Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Becoming Influential and Happy New Year. Today's guest is one that brightens up the internet one square inch at a time. If you're scrolling through social media and you come across that post that gives you an instant sigh of relief, that post-it note that's saying exactly what you needed to hear, then you know who today's guest is. She's Helena. She runs Thoughts with H. And if you don't already know her, you're going to be following her by the end of this episode. Helena, so happy to have you in the house today. First of all, let's get straight to the very beginning. What do you do for your full-time job? Because I think I just started following your account because we took a workout class together or we were at the same gym. I started following your account because you posted amazing stuff. But let's get back to the basics. What do you do?
I remember connecting with you at the gym and love that. I am a full-time mental health therapist. That is my full-time job. I just became licensed, so I'm a licensed mental health clinician. My full-time job looks like working with clients one-on-one, whether it's in a telehealth setting or in a home setting.
Wow, that is incredible. And I would not guess that from obviously following your account. If someone wasn't reading your bio where you see like what you do for a living, mental health is your focus. I would not have guessed that that was your full-time job because I'm just scrolling through the feed, looking at all these inspirational posts, but now it makes sense why your account is what it is. When did you get the idea that, okay, I want to go from giving advice behind closed doors to giving great advice to everyone on social media?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And it's actually crazy because it took me putting up my quotes for me to realize I want to be a therapist. And this is
Oh.
what my passion is. And so I actually worked at a dentist office at the time. And I was simply writing down words that I needed to hear at the time. And so I would post it on my Snapchat, and that would like go away within 24 hours. And so I got great feedback from my friends to be like, why can't you create a platform where like those quotes stay? And so that's when I went over to Instagram. And at the time, my quotes just started off simply as like I was dating them as I was writing them because I wasn't thinking twice about it. It was a time social media just started and it was anonymous. So that's why I was like, oh, I'm going to dash it with H. So I love the fact that like now on my page, you'll see a little bit about me, but I love that it's not about me because it showed the impact of the words themselves and how they can relate to people. And so it was within like that sequence of events of like finding the meaning behind the words and seeing the impact it could have that I was like, all right, I like this. I'm going to continue it. And so I continued with my bachelor's and then I continued working like a different job at the time. And so it wasn't until I went over with my master's that I was like, okay, now I'm going to go full time therapy. So,
See,
yeah.
this is why I love bringing different. I don't even want to call you an influencer, but you are an influencer. You're positively impacting so many people who follow your account. And if you don't already follow her, I have her handle right there underneath her name. You should because her account is incredible. It's like you will find whatever you need right here in this very moment. You will find it on her page. And that's what I love about it. And it's just wild to me that you were a dentist. That you were a dentist just posting, inspirational things on your Snapchat and it led to this. Like, that is wild. Like, I'm just mind blown. And now I want to get into this, like, the nitty gritty of your account because my penmanship is not great. And I feel like all of your post it notes are perfect. The background is perfect. The text is perfect. It's just all like, how did you identify the post-it note as how you were gonna, create your quotes and your content, and you stuck with it? Your branding is incredible. It's like so simple, so chic, but so perfect at the same time.
Yeah, no. And I think about this a lot because when it comes time for me to articulate it into an answer, I'm like, it's so much more than just it being able to explain it simply. But I was a manager at the dentist office. And so, and product that's so accessible is a post-it note. And so I would take it and I, in a way, wanted people to check their energy. And it was just it was just perfect to use it. And over time, I did stick with it and it fit perfectly because I also started traveling a lot. And so just one day clicked where I took the quote with me and it was usually just like on the desk at work. And I would just start putting the backgrounds, and that's where the feedback really came in, and it started to grow, and people were just sharing it, and I was like, it wasn't so much about the background, it
Mm-hmm.
was just showing like, hey, this is like a person and not like a computer generated quote that just came out of nowhere. So it just showed people, I like to think, that like it's relatable, and it made them feel a sense of like, I'm not alone in feeling this way, even though it's not so normalized to talk about. And so I think being like anonymous factor of it took off the pressure of somebody not wanting to engage with it, because they were almost like, ah, like look at these other people that are connecting with this feeling, I must not be alone in that. And yeah, I don't know, the post-its were just perfect, right? I needed something to be able to stick to my finger to be able to withstand the wind. And so over time, to protect my own self, I was like, I need something to brand it, so my logo's just on here just so it's mine. And yeah, that's how it all just started. And
I'm
I chase the
obsessed.
sunsets, I chase the sunrises. I'm like, I need the background. And yeah, no, no matter what, like people will suggest sometimes, like, oh, why don't you just like create, Chat GPT can do it, or AI. And I'm like, it's not the same. Like, you need to practice your handwriting, and you need to practice getting the right picture. And yeah, no. And to your point about the handwriting,
Mm-hmm.
it's so funny because we also create quote boards, and on these quote boards it creates a space for somebody else to come write a word. And I always do it as take a quote, leave a quote, because I'm never just going to have you write your words down and leave it. And so every single time somebody goes to write a quote, the first instinct that they have is like, oh, but my handwriting's not good. And I always say, like, it's everybody's unique handwritings that make the quote boards look so beautiful anyways, and just give so much intention behind it. And yeah, no, it's awesome. So I think if you did go to write your post-it note, I think it would just come out awesome.
That's true, because it'd be true to me, and it's. I just feel like for you, I'm so happy that like you haven't made a graphic, you haven't used Chat GPT, like it's so authentic to you, and no one can copy it. And like when I see them on my feed, I know it's you. I know like it's not anyone else, it's you. And I feel like that's what makes social media incredible, is that like everyone's able to create their own brand to become influential, which is the name of my show. And social media can be such a dark place. Your account, I feel like, is a bright spot. It's like, even if you are feeling in a low space, you might need some motivation. Your account is the perfect thing for that, where you don't feel like I'm not competing with her page. I'm not, her page isn't making me feel uncomfortable or less than or anything like that. Your page is doing the exact opposite. How important is it to have pages like yours that are just the light in social media that can be such a dark place?
Yeah, no, and you phrase it so beautifully, because I think that social media can be such a highlight reel.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back and forth with this, because I think too, the more you meet people and you surround yourself in a community of everyone's kind of posting things, you start to feel a little bit of pressure of like, well, am I posting enough, or am I doing this right? But when you recenter yourself and realize, well, I got this far because this was my idea, and my path's not supposed to look like somebody else's path, and you're not focused on like the algorithm and the views and the likes, then that's where just the
The magic.
creativity comes in. Yeah, and just I think that there's just so much power behind only posting when you have like good energy
Mm-hmm.
and you're feeling good enough to post. So then that way, that was my goal of like, I simply used the words that I wanted to hear to be like, let me put this out there. And yeah, no, I need it in. It's social media too. You sit there and you compare, right? And it's comparison is the joy, what is it?
The thief of
Comparison is the
joy.
thief of joy.
Yeah.
And it is. So hopefully, like, I just wanted to create a space where people can go and just be like, ah, okay, I just needed to know, like, how I'm feeling is okay to feel, and I'm not alone in that.
I love that. And I think for me, I think when your page, when you just said, like, I want to post when I have good energy. With that in mind, a lot of influencers feel like they have to post every day or 3 times a day or whatever it may be. What is your game plan when it comes to posting, your post-it notes and your motivation? Is it, first of the month? Is it whenever you have good energy? What's your process like?
Yeah, well, my main priority is if I don't feel like posting, I'm not posting, right? Like
Period.
it's just energy is currency, so I'm only putting out what I want people to receive. However, I think like holidays, New Year's, like just happened, Christmas, so anything that comes at a time where people need, a moment of feeling like you're not alone right now, and also just giving a little bit of inspiration, like it's okay to restart and reset. So like New Year's resolution is huge for some people, but I feel like it puts a lot of pressure and can lead to disappointment because we're thinking like all of a sudden I can create all these changes just because it hit January 1st. But with Thoughts with H, we normalize being able to restart every Monday, every first of the month, every day if you need to. And so I think that prioritizing how to post comes from like, well, when do people usually need the most boost,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know? And usually it's like a Monday because we always feel like a little Sunday scary, so Monday feels good to get. But yeah, no, just whenever it feels right. I probably should have more of like a little content plan that would probably help me out a little, but
I like the flow
yeah.
that I like the flow that you're operating on. And Helena, you've moved from the desk and the screen to also, now you have things that we can buy and have in our homes with us. So like even if we're not
Yes.
on our phone, I see the product placement behind you with your calendars. How did
Yes.
you move from that to now selling things online?
Yeah, so the calendars themselves, so this is the 7th year we do them. This is the 2026 Thoughts with H calendar. This one is the desk calendar. And so every year I just have some fun with like the cover of it. But this was my first piece of merch, and I think it's so special just because it's set to keep you on track all year long, right? Like it's so easy to overlook something, but when you find a quote and a positive affirmation that feels believable and grounding to you, and you take time every single day to just quickly read it and just be intentional about that, I think there's something so powerful in that, because it's in that moment that your thought processes will switch and your attention can hopefully go to something more positive. And that's really like the main goal behind thinking positive, and it's nice to look at too, and I think that
It's
that's fun.
beautiful. And still
That's
on
fun.
brand with your post-it
Yes.
notes.
Yes. And actually this year's is the background is a quote board. So it's all different handwritings. I really wanted to highlight like the community, the fact that everybody says different words and goes through different things. But this one is the wall calendar, and the wall calendar can be hung up. It's a little longer, and it can also be written on. So on some days here, like on the months, there's like little reminders and just quotes on there. But just small words can have a big impact, and it's really beautiful to see how they mean differently to each person. And even like a quote can hit you now differently than it will a year later. So
Yes, and that's why I read some of your things that may not apply to me now, but I might need it later. And I cannot even tell you how many things I've bookmarked from your social media account. So, like if I went through my bookmarks, I feel like at least 40% of them are probably from your account because they're just that
oh my
good.
gosh.
I may not need it right then and there, but I'm like, that is so good. I'm gonna save that for later. Or sometimes I just send it to a friend who I know,
Yes.
like, they may be dealing with something and they could benefit from it. So, and also another thing I like to use your account for is I might take a quote that you use and maybe it's my caption for my next post. Like,
Yes. You're welcome.
I'm
Yep,
like,
must
it's
be
inspiration
perfect.
for that. So
No, absolutely.
I love that. But where can we buy your calendar? We've talked a lot about your social media and where to find your account, but where can we buy the very thing that's in your hand right now?
Yes. So if you want to buy a calendar, you can go to thoughtswith.h.com. There's you can even go to thoughtswith.h.com/shop, but I'm sure you'll see the shop button. And you can also go on my Instagram. You can DM me. I'll personally send you a link. I love to talk to every single person on there. But yeah, go on my website, check out different merch. If you have something that you're like, hey, you haven't made this yet, because there's definitely a lot on my list that I want to do, let me know and I'll create it. And I'm still gonna send you your laminated post. We're gonna get you yours and
I was
see what
just
you can
saying
do.
that. I was gonna say she's true to her word because I did that.
Yes. No, absolutely. If I can do something, and it's just, yeah, it's so special, and I really appreciate taking the time to like discuss it.
And you don't stop there. You don't stop there. We've talked about your social media. You've got calendars. Now you're having an event, which I
Yes.
am just so like jealous of everyone who will be there because to make a vision board is the best start to the year. But to make a vision board with your post-it notes and just to be surrounded by women, like I cannot even imagine how great it's going to be. But how did you come up with that idea to create an event like this to start off the new year, creating a vision board, positivity with your branding, all the things?
Yeah. So first of all, I wish you were still in
I
town.
know.
Maybe we can like figure that out. But so I didn't advertise it this way, but the vision board event will be on my birthday. And I am so excited for that because for the past 2 years, I've been a part of other people's events where I've just been doing pop up tables. And I've loved that. But a part of me has been so resistant to wanting to host my own events, and probably because it's just something that scares me and
Hmm.
just something that gives me a little bit of like imposter syndrome in a way, like why would somebody want to come to my event? But I feel like the past few months I've really been putting myself in situations of, well, if you don't try you're never going to know. And right, like we have to, it's not failing, we're either
Hmm.
learning or we're going to grow from it. And so once I kind of got that little boost to be okay with that, it just fit that the birthday would be the perfect part. I've always wanted to do a vision board event, connect people that are like-minded, and just show. I do also think that as we get older, it's a little harder to find your people
Yes.
because we all grow and move, and and we all have different interests. And so I really wanted to create a space that is curated to people who genuinely want to be there, genuinely want to set intentions, and really check in with your future self of like, well, what do I want to bring into the new year, and what is not serving me that I want to leave behind? And hopefully seeing other people do the same thing will give someone else just the power to really push through and be like, ah, okay, I can do this too.
Well, give us the logistics for your event. Like, what's going to be there? Where is it at? What day
Yes.
is your birthday for the people that don't know? Are you a Capricorn, or does
I'm a
that
Capricorn girl. Yep.
Capricorn
Yes.
queen? I love that for us.
Yes.
I love that for us. Yeah, give us all the deets because I will be making my own vision board by myself. But for the
Yes.
people that are in the New England area and can join you for this amazing night, tell us all the deets.
Yes, please come. Check it out on my Instagram, link in bio. We are partnering, Thoughts with H is partnering with the Broadway in South Boston, and we are creating vision boards. We're going to have some special drinks, special menu. We're going to have just a bunch of beautiful decorations, photo opportunities, a lot of vision board stuff, a lot of quotes. We're going to mingle, talk, just kind of connect for a little while, and then just really catch a vibe and get to know each other.
Hmm.
And I'm just excited to, and they don't, I think some people know it's my birthday, but for the most part I'm really just trying to celebrate the fact that everybody came out, and it's on a Monday where
Mm.
it's like we are almost sold out. So if this speaks to you, there's a sign for that. Go
Literally
get your
come.
ticket. Yeah. No, seriously. And I think too, just the special part is it's quality over quantity, where I didn't want to go with as many people as possible. I wanted to make sure there's a space where we can all be enough people to just really talk and get to know each other.
It sounds perfect. And especially in this day and age where like I actually have seen on TikTok where people are selling like vision board books where you can kind of get like, quotes and things for magazines and stuff. I'm like, I love that like this is a one-stop shop for a community making a vision board. You're supplying everything. Cause like for me, like no one really gets magazines these days, so you would have to go out and buy some magazines or newspapers and find some things on Pinterest to print out. Like you're making it so easy to just start off the new year on the right foot with your branding, with quotes. Like everything is just there, and it's the chef's kiss, the beautiful start to 2026. So I'm so excited to see how it goes, and that's an amazing birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm so excited. I'm already emotional thinking about it. And I just can't wait to see it come to life. And hopefully it's the start of many more to come.
Yes, and I hope you take lots of photos and videos so I can live vicariously through your social media because
Yes, and
I
if
will
I have
not be able to
extra
attend.
stuff, maybe I'll like create a little kit just for you and mail it over after. Like,
That would be
see,
perfect. That would be perfect. Maybe I can, have a little thoughts with H vision board party with myself or my mom or something. I don't know.
yes, we can do it virtually.
It's
Maybe
never
that's the
too
next
late.
step. Yeah, you never
Yes.
know.
I mean, literally, if there's one thing that COVID taught us is that like we can do anything virtually because there were so many panels and virtual birthday parties and different things like that. Like COVID taught us a lot of things, especially us being able to have this conversation right now via Zoom. And I just want to thank you for your time today. This has been so special, and I'm sure that everyone took something away from this. They're probably already following you, and if they're in the New England area, hopefully they're signing up to go to your vision board event because it's going to be incredible. Helena, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. And we'll be back
Yay!
with another episode of Becoming Influential. We have great guests coming down the line. Helena was awesome. You better be following her like I already do. Trust me, you won't regret it. See you next time.